If this is your first time on my channel, welcome Red Heart. I try to give you really good content every day. If you like it, subscribe now, so I know you're on my side. Most celebrity residences are intended for display. Dolly Partans was supposed to be hidden. Hidden in Tennessee, far from red carpets and cameras. One of the most famous women in music lives a hidden life here. No glittering chandeliers or gold pianos, simply warm wood, a peaceful music room, and a 60-year with a spouse who eschewed celebrity. How can someone with a $650 million empire pursue a simple lifestyle? Dolly Parton's music, memories, and mountains remain in her heart. Despite her fame, Dolly Parton did not build a lavish castle or palace to celebrate her accomplishment. Instead, she found comfort in a familiar spot. The sanctuary was a place of comfort, memories, and genuine life. In 1999, Dolly and Carl Dean bought their Brentwood, Tennessee estate for around $400,000. This choice may have shocked those who expected a star of her prominence to settle in a larger home. The property is situated on nearly 60 acres of rolling hills and woods in a quiet neighborhood south of Nashville. Iron gates open to a lengthy driveway leading to a white mansion with wide porches and classic American elegance. She created a welcoming, rather than scary, house. Instead, small things kept their home warm. Their home features bright, cheery rooms, a music room with a piano near large windows, and walls decorated with family photos and memories. Though not spectacular, the house was modest. The kitchen was where meals were prepared and memories were incorporated into dishes. The backyard was filled with laughter, especially when loved ones joined them. A quiet space was available for prayer, thinking, and crafting heartfelt music. A chapel is located on the grounds. Faith has always been a part of Dolly's life. Dolly has toured the world and sold out large halls, but her home offers her something more than fame. She received the chance to be herself. Dolly and Carl found a peaceful and close existence away from the cameras and throng, enjoying cooking, talking, laughing, and living. Why did Dolly pick a modest Tennessee home over a lavish Hollywood mansion? Her history begins in the Smoky Mountains, before the rhinestones, sold-out arenas, and global recognition. Dolly Parton's journey began in a small cottage in the Great Smoky Mountains. A 1946 January morning in Pittman Center, Tennessee, saw her birth. The basic cottage featured one room and a dirt floor. There were no hospital lights or nice beds, only a harsh alpine life with honest and loving relatives. Her father, Robert Lee Parton, couldn't afford a doctor when she was born. He provided a valuable sack of cornmeal. The simple barter of a bag of cornmeal for a living became a memorable story for years. She realized how different her early life was from the stage lights she would later experience. Since Dolly was the fourth of 12 children, they all shared the same space. The lack of electricity, running water, and beds led to the use of firefly jars for nighttime lighting. Although the cabin lacked comfort, it was filled with laughing, songs, stories, and music. She heard it in her mother's Appalachian ballads, church hymns, and the wind rustling the trees around her home. In the beginning, Dolly was not defeated by poverty. Instead, her dreams sprang from the dirt. Her early years of listening to folk music, catching fireflies, and singing for neighbors molded her. Several years later, they gave her compositions like Coat of Many Colors and My Tennessee Mountain Home, based on personal experiences. Her love for music has been with her since childhood, encompassing her everywhere. Dolly Parton's life was filled of song before her big stage debut. Music was a way of life in the hidden valleys of the Smoky Mountains. Dolly was surrounded by sound from the moment she could speak. Eileen, her mother, sang Welsh ballads and tunes passed down through generations while cooking, braiding hair, or rocking her children to sleep. These melodies were part of daily life. Church was another place where music changed her world. Dolly and her family frequently trekked the sandy road to her small Pentecostal church, where her grandfather spoke. The crowd frequently sung gospel hymns, their voices resonating like wind in the mountains. At age 6, Dolly stood up and sang along. At age 7, she began creating music by hand. With family support, she learned guitar. At first, she played a handcrafted instrument, taught herself tasks, and let the melody float in the mountain air. Her uncle soon recognized her unique qualities. It wasn't a child creating noise, but a young musician with passion. He gifted her a guitar at age 8, which became her first companion on her journey. Her first song was a simple, beautiful song about a maze doll her father created for her. However, it was the start of something beautiful. Dolly was already on local radio and television in Knoxville, Tennessee, by age 10. Her uncle helped her earn a slot on The Walker Show, a regional radio program showcasing East Tennessee music and storytelling. In the studio, little Dolly sung with her guitar and a racing heart, performing for real microphones and an audience at home. With the clapping, smiles, and attentive audience, she experienced her first taste of being more than just a teenage singer in church. Dolly's childhood was about feeling, breathing, and bringing music to the future, transforming country music. Her voice was once heard at family gatherings and Sunday services. She began performing on local radio and television, singing songs with a mountainous spirit and true gospel heart. This marked the start of her journey toward celebrity. At 16, Dolly was no longer a youngster with a dream. A young woman gave voice to the soul of her mountains. After a humble beginning, she began her journey to popularity and broke into Nashville. On her high school graduation day, Dolly Parton did not sleep in or celebrate with friends. Instead, she carried her few belongings and traveled to Nashville, Tennessee, the center of country music. Her departure from East Tennessee was fueled by her desire to make a mark on the world she had been singing about for years. She found Nashville to be larger and faster than the mountains she had grown up in. The Music Row streets were full of recording studios, publishers, and vocalists pursuing similar aspirations. Dolly entered offices and knocked on doors, carrying her guitar as a badge of courage. She believed in her place, even if others weren't ready to recognize it. Fred Foster, owner of Combine Music and Monument Records, soon heard her songs. He initially signed her to a publishing deal, then to a recording contract. Nashville wasn't ready to hand her success easily. At Monument, people didn't instantly get her uniqueness. They attempted to transform her into a pop singer, believing her bright voice would fit better in that genre than country. Although Dolly sang up-tempo pop songs with appealing hooks, her spirit from the mountains was missing. Despite this, Dolly continued writing. She wrote songs on grief, hope, and hard work from her life. Others immediately recorded them. After Bill Phillips placed her songs on country charts, the world took notice. Monument enabled Dolly to record her true musical expression. Her first country singles, such as Dumb Blonde and Something Fishy, climbed the charts, introducing her distinct voice to the globe. Moving to Nashville at 18 wasn't easy. There were missteps, misinterpreted labels, and evenings of doubt. However, Dolly aimed for solo glory with each step. After years of dedication, Dolly Parton emerged from duets and partnerships to shine with her own voice and songs. Solo achievement seemed like a peaceful, bright, slow dawn. Impossible to miss once it filled the sky. Dolly wrote a 1974 song. Would Alter Everything. I Will Always Love You was inspired by her decision to leave Porter Wagoner, who had helped her early career succeed. Dolly's simple melody and profound emotion conveyed appreciation and strength, revealing a side of her heart rarely expressed in words. The song reached #1 on the country charts, marking the start of her career as a solo artist. At the same time, she released songs like Jolene and Love Is Like a Butterfly, showcasing her distinct vocal and narrative capabilities and topping the charts. Her words were powerful and resonated with listeners across America. Fans felt that Dolly was giving stories rather than singing tunes, as if old friends were visiting. As Dolly's name increased, she diverged from one path. Her music expanded beyond country, gaining popularity in pop genres. With each new single, she demonstrated her ability to create, perform, and shine independently, not merely as a backup act. When her career settled, Dolly embarked on a new chapter by marrying. Despite Dolly Parton's success, her heart belonged to someone who never wanted to share the spotlight. Upon moving to Nashville at 18, she was surprised to find love in a laundry. Carl Dean, a modest, grounded man who valued regular living over cameras and crowds, drew her attention. In May 1966, they married in a simple ceremony in Ringgold, Georgia. Initially, only her mother and a pastor watched, reflecting their shared appreciation of simplicity. Carl did not seek fame, honors, or red carpets. He chose to let Dolly pursue her goal while maintaining his own peaceful existence at home. Dolly constantly protected him from the public eye and scandals, respecting his desire to remain hidden. Their marriage endured for decades, making it a notable love story in entertainment. After over 60 years of laughing, support, and dedication, Carl rarely joined Dolly on stage or at major events. In fact, he only witnessed her live performance once. However, he remained consistent and unwavering behind the scenes. Dolly attempted to shield him from the spotlight as he preferred a quieter life of mornings and afternoons together. Although they didn't have children, their life together was equally meaningful. It fostered a strong bond based on mutual respect, laughter, and a shared sense of belonging. Carl's death in March 2025, after 60 years together, impacted Dolly's life forever. This had the most influence on her than any song she wrote. Following her career success and established love life, Dolly began to leave her mark on the neighborhood. Dolly Parton envisioned a place for her people, not just a temporary attraction. Instead, she built a heartfelt space to relive her childhood laughter and delight. Her idea became Dollywood, a theme park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, near her childhood home in the Smoky Mountains. Dolly transformed a minor regional park into a 160-acre showcase of mountain life and passion. The park showcases Appalachian culture and history, from the grist mill churning grain used by early settlers to the skilled craftsmen sculpting wood and forging metal. The current Dollywood is a living homage to its former people. The park now attracts millions of people annually, creating jobs and economic opportunities in the community where Dolly first experienced music and dreams. One of the main employers in Sevier County, it supports schools, infrastructure, and the community by providing jobs to thousands of families. Entering the gates brings laughter, music, southern food, and genuine hospitality. However, there is also education, opportunity, and pride. Dollywood has transformed a quiet Tennessee area into a flourishing destination. Dolly founded the theme park on the principle of giving back, not for business success. She not only gave back to Dollywood but also advanced her philanthropy, aiming to leave a lasting impact. Dolly Parton's songs are performed worldwide on stages and radio stations. She persisted in asking a simple question. How can she improve the lives of others? Although music was her voice, giving became one of her most profound truths. It began with a memory of her hard-working father, who never learned to read or write. This memory inspired something larger than a hit song. Dolly created the Imagination Library in 1995, providing free books to children from birth to age 5, regardless of their location or financial status. This started in her homeland of Sevier County, Tennessee, and extended across the U.S. and Canada. Over hundreds of millions of books have been gifted in the UK, Australia, and Ireland, introducing children to the joy of reading. Her generosity extended beyond reading. In response to the 2016 Smoky Mountains wildfires that damaged hundreds of houses, Dolly took action. She established the My People Fund, providing monthly payments to families who had lost everything to rebuild their lives. She quickly and effectively responded to help those she considered her own. Dolly prioritized more than just her house and neighborhood. In response to the COVID-19 epidemic, she gave $1 million to Vanderbilt University Medical Center for vaccine research, benefiting people worldwide. Dolly's generosity has positively affected many people through scholarships, disaster aid, healthcare support, and millions of books for young readers. Unlike typical celebrity giving, her generosity was intentional, continuous, and anchored in the attitude of compassion she learnt as a child on the mountainside. Every book sent helps families and inspires children to dream more. Dolly's finest song reflects her life lived for others, not for praise. She is formed by faith, humility, and lifelong values throughout her life. Over time, Dolly Parton's name gained global recognition. Her daily decisions were based on her childhood religion and principles, not celebrity or riches. Dolly was raised in a home where prayer and worship were a daily part of life, which influenced her spirituality long after leaving the Smoky Mountains. She made her faith a daily habit, not just for Sundays or stage performances, shaping her identity and lifestyle. Often, she starts each day with prayer, seeking wisdom, strength, and attracting positive individuals and removing negative ones. Starting the day with thankfulness set the tone for her actions. While Dolly never veiled her beliefs, she never forced them on others. She maintains a humble spirituality, writing music, helping people, and living with joy and mindfulness. She believed in the power of love and kindness, recognizing the good in others, and bringing light into the world despite challenges. She said, "Prayer is not a formal affair, but it's more come as you are." Her simple faith kept her grounded despite the world's pursuit of fame, glitter, and grand platforms. Keeping in touch with her roots, such as the mountain cottage, mother's voice, and Sunday morning songs, helped her recall her origins throughout difficult times. She always lived by this mantra. Love genuinely, give generously, and remain loyal to yourself before the world cheered. Despite her popularity and fortune, Dolly Parton has maintained a humble existence in Tennessee. Instead of pursuing palaces and castles, she chose to live peacefully with her husband despite gaining global recognition. Which Dolly Parton song is your favorite? Let us know your opinions in the comments. Thank you for viewing, and see you in the future video.